Hey everybody, I'm going to be showing you a quick tutorial. Well, it's 20 minutes. Let's see if I can talk that long. But it's a quick tutorial on the Hot Mess canvas. So here you can see the colors I used. I just picked 4 fall colors. I've got a red, an orange, yellow, and then I picked a shimmery brown. The canvas that I picked is just a normal 11 by 18 size canvas. You can pick these up at Walmart for fairly cheap. I think I got a pack of 3. So here I start just making little squares everywhere, or little shapes everywhere. I started with the red, and then I'm gonna move on to each color and eventually fill the entire space with a little, I guess, checkered pattern, kind of. Okay, so bear with me here. This takes a few minutes. You can fast forward if you'd like through this part, and then I will explain a little bit more once all the color is on. Here you see when I'm adding my orange in, I'm just making sure that it touches the red. You don't want that space of white in between. And eventually I'm going to fill all of the spaces of white. You want to cover all the white of your canvas with color. Continue to fast forward if you'd like. Here comes my third color of the shimmery brown. With this final color of yellow, I'm going to just cover all the remaining white spaces, and I'm going to go back and make sure, like, if there's any little pieces between, like, say, the orange and the red, I'm going to just make sure all the white's covered, and I'll just even kind of mix in the colors. If it mixes, it's fine. It's going to make a pretty cool effect. Okay, it's time to blow dry. Get it nice and dry because your stencil does not stick very well to these canvases in the first place. And if your paint's wet, it's going to make that paint feel up and the stencil's not going to stick well. Alright, now it's time for the stencil. So I cut this stencil with my Silhouette Cameo 2. And what I'm going to do now is I put transfer tape on it. I'm going to flip the stencil over and start peeling the backer off so I can expose the sticky part of the stencil. And you do that by just kind of pushing and rolling. You don't want to just pull on this backer or it's going to rip your stencil. So just go nice and slow, pay attention to what you're doing, make sure it's all sticking onto that clear sticky transfer tape. Okay, once you get the backer off, you're ready to place it down onto your canvas. So get your canvas ready, decide what you want for your top and what for your bottom, and then just kind of place it on and rub it down as good as you can. With these canvases, it's a little bit harder to rub down than the wood signs that I'm used to doing. So I found that if you kind of just rub it down like this, and then you can even place your hand up underneath the canvas and try and press it down that way too. And then you're ready to start peeling off the transfer tape. And this part, you got to just take your time with too, because like I said, it does not stick to the canvas as well as it does the wood. And feel free to fast forward through this part as well. I am kind of new to editing videos and I have not figured out how to fast forward yet. So if you know how to do that, tell me in the comments. Anyways, after I get all this transfer tape off, we are ready to start painting. Okay, I'm giving it a final quick rub down. Make sure there's no bubbles in your stencil because that's going to give the paint a place to like bleed up underneath the stencil, and then you don't want that. The color that I chose was white for my background, so I'm going to get the white out now, squirt it on my plate, and then I'm just going to, I used a makeup sponge to paint the background on. You could probably use a bigger brush if you wanted. And another thing that I noticed is I only did one layer of white, and you'll see in the end that I probably should have done 2 layers of white. Or even if you had white spray paint, that might even work better than just dabbing on the white paint. As I'm dabbing over the part of the stencils, I do that kind of light because you want to kind of seal down the stencil to the canvas. And if you make it real thick and blobby, that's going to have a better chance of it bleeding. So always do kind of a thin layer over the stencil first, and then you can go back and add more layers to get the look that you want. Okay, you can see I'm covering the final 2 pieces down here, doing that second coat over the stencils. Looking back now, I really wish that I would have maybe given it a quick blow dry and then added a second, like another, well, I guess third coat over the entire thing, because you can still see some of the hot mess background that's just, you know, it still shows through in the end. Okay, it's ready to start the blow drying process again. Get it, you know, pretty dry. Doesn't have to be completely dry. And then you're ready to go back and start peeling up the stencil. This is the fun part. So I just used a pair of tweezers and just start grabbing your stencil and pulling it off. And you get to see your work. And there you have it. Autumn skies and apple pies. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was somewhat informative to you. Sorry it's such a long video. Hit the like button and subscribe.